Just a short 2-day walk south from Paris, and you will somehow find the Circuit du Magny-Cours in the middle of nowhere in central France. I am Matt Hartley, and alongside me today in the booth is a man who is so fast that he has NOS in his name. It is Janos Magasrevi, sorry. And we are at the Circuit du Magny-Cours for round 3 and 4 of the Winter Series for the 2018 SimRacingHub World Championship. Hello, Janos. How are you today? Or in French, bonjour, Janos.
Bonjour, bonjour. I don't speak any French. You live
You
in
just
Canada,
did.
you know much more than I do.
Yeah, but that's not real French. That is, that's French Canadian. Yeah, exactly. It's completely different. So as we get ready to go live into Q1, we once again have 11 drivers. So we will have the very exciting 11 down to 10 session for Q1.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more people tonight, but it is what it is.
We got a few different names though than what we had last time. Luis Gonzalez is here, and also Ruben, the right-hander Miranda, is also racing. So we've lost 2 and gained 2.
Yeah.
Which we'll take every day of the week.
Usually like this in the Winter Series. They come and
well,
go.
This is how we wheeled out, guys, and this is how you end up with the best grid in town for the 2018 SimRacingHub World Championship, which begins on March 22nd. Still a long way away from now, but we are into February, folks.
Yeah, there's 2 more rounds to go. So we're about 1 minute away from Q1.
1 minute away from Q1 and 1 minute away from things that, well, I guess really matter. Some guys going out there on a warm-up lap right now. Not sure why. Answers on a postcard, please. There's only a minute to go left before qualifying. I think it's time to just get a drink of water, relax the nerves a little bit, and stay in the garage, if you ask this British commentator.
So who are you betting for tonight?
Oh, I don't place bets. Oh no, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. But if I had a few shiny pennies, yeah, how can you go wrong with the guy who's currently first in the session? Because he is leading the Winter Series Championship, Carlos Reina.
Yeah, he was actually a surprise last race. I wasn't expecting him to come out on top. I was
very,
thinking
very consistent.
about Ivan, Georgiev, and Angelon.
Yep, Angelon is not here today.
He was here a few minutes ago.
Well, he's not here now. He obviously just really, really wanted to do some testing, and that was it. Maybe he feels confident enough that his 31 points are going to be enough to get him through. I don't believe that will be the case. So let me pull up the championship standings while we're here on the trusty iPhone 4S, which has never let me down. It just takes a while, that's all.
Put it on the screen as well. 1 second. We just moved to Q1.
So we have about 1 minute and 10 seconds before anything really exciting begins to happen. So the championship standings so far after round 1. Carlos Reina at 37 points. Like you said, big surprise. The bringer of rain brought it in Malaysia. He is leading the championship. Osvaldo Angelon, we don't know if he's going to race here today, but he is P2 with 31 points. Ivan Georgiev is in 3rd place with 29. 23 points for Jacopo Cardozo in 4th. Danny Corvo is in 5th place with 14. The captain, John Cook, is in 6th. He is running around with 11 points to his name. And Double B Ben Boca with the deuce on the board, 10 points for him so far. 8th place was Paulo Rodriguez. He's got 4 points to his name. Alejandro Sanabria, a little disappointing in the first round. Expect a comeback for him this time round. Only 2 points for him. And then Aaron Jimenez, Thomas Shepard, and Juan Palacios did all that hard work for no reward. So we get ready to go into qualifying 1. Who is first on circuit? Let us see through the field. Alejandro Sanabria is coming down the final sector. I think he is going to be the first man, so he gets the credit of was riding on board for a lap around this Magny-Cours circuit. Sanabria comes through the final chicane with those bright purple tires on, the ultra soft, and through the grand curb corner. Should be easy flat into the very difficult Estoril. You can see the tire smoke on the outside. He does it in 4th gear, up through Golf turn, which isn't really a turn, into 7th gear, 8th gear just before you come into the Adelaide hairpin, brake at that nice shiny white line that they put on the circuit for you, all the way down into 2nd gear and up through into the Nürburgring chicane. Very fast right left. You want to get as close to the big sleeping policeman curves as you can, and Sanabria did not worry any policeman going through that time around. Through the 180 degree turn, which is 180 degrees. Crazy. Who knew? Imola chicane, very, very dangerous. Second pause, you can run out of track, but Sanabria manages to keep it on the circuit, and then into Chateau d'Eau, which I believe means Castle of Water, but I'm not 100% sure. And we go into the final 2 turns and into the final chicane. Very, very tricky. You can get, again, close to the curbs, taking it nice and safe. Sanabria, a safe first lap and a 1:12.2. He's the first man on the board. Who else is going to come through? Ivan Georgiev's coming through the final chicane. Georgiev's going to ring it through. He should go into provisional P1, and he does with an 11.008. And Ben Bocott, double B, splits the two of them with an 11.989.
I'm trying to check the sound quality, so if I don't speak anything, you know why.
Danny Corriveau finishes a lap 14.2. He'll be going round again after that one. Through the Estoril curve. That is the hardest turn on the circuit by far. You can easily get round there, but my god, do you destroy the tires. Osvaldo Angelone is pending an open session. Well, I'm afraid you missed it. He's going to be starting right from the back of the grid. Jacobo Cardozo came through to complete a lap. He is in 5th place. He just moved down because Juan Palacios jumped just ahead of him into 4th. Those guys with a 13.4, 13.6 respectively. Still waiting for Luis Gonzalez to post the time. Aaron Jimenez has done 4 laps, but he's only just leaving the pit lane, so he's had a very eventful start to the session so far. Ben Bocott goes P1 with a 10.9 by 0.076 over Ivan Georgiev, so he'll be very, very pleased with that one. Bocott led the first race, the first race in Malaysia, and managed to throw it away. So he'll be hoping that he doesn't do that this time around.
I think the engine sound is quite low, so we'll fix that during the warm-up.
Not a problem. I think it's just the way that these cars are now. As Richard Walcott would say, oh good gracious, these cars are quiet. So Gonzalez is coming through the 180 degree turn. It will be interesting to see how well he does after missing the first 2 rounds. There's only 4 tracks in the Winter Series, so if you're missing one of them, you are starting behind. No doubt about that.
Yeah, the last round counts double, almost.
That's definitely one that you want to tune in for and won't want to miss. But I think every lap turned is crucial for these guys, because I don't think any of them will really be expected to be troubling the front end right from the get-go in Australia. But they will have as much of an advantage as they'll have all year going into round 1, as everybody else has to sit on the sidelines and watch and listen to me talk and sing during the first 2 rounds here. The singing comes later on, don't worry, you've not missed it. Right now, the only thing singing is Ben Bocott. He is in P1 and he's sat in the garage, and there's no reason at all for him to go back out. So he's just gonna, I think, probably wait for the 6 minutes to end here.
Actually, since there are 9 drivers, everyone's gonna make it to Q2.
There we go! Everybody makes it in. You get a
But
place.
not
a
really.
place.
You have to set a lap time.
Oh.
So maybe there are a few drivers that don't know that.
Well, Jimenez is now put in 6 laps and yet to complete a time. Guys, a 2-minute 5-second lap will do right now. That will get you into Q2. Let's go on board with Ivan Georgiev because I think he's going to be wanting that P1 back. I saw a did a 10 in the first kind of warm-up session, so he should be able to challenge Bocat's 10-9. I think we're on an outlap here from Georgiev, or he's just going very, very slowly through the chicane. Yes, it is an outlap. Carlos Reina is pending in open session 2, so Osvaldo Angelone and Carlos Reina are going to be starting from the back of the field.
Yeah, and apparently the sprint race will most likely be the same.
Yep. Okay, we are on board with Ivan Georgiev going into the Grand Curve corner. Easy flat into 8th gear already. Then you've got to come all the way down through 4 gears, keep a nice and tight line and get on the power as soon as possible. That was quite nice, actually, in the Ferrari there. Up through Golf. He's going to be topping out already. He's 207, 208, 208. He actually didn't top out. He has that car set up perfectly for qualifying. As I thought he was going to rev out, but he just managed to get 209 on the straight there. So, it's like, look at the quick chicane there through the Nürburgring. That car is set up quite nicely. Just a nice flick to the right and the left. Then through the 180-degree turn. This should be a quick lap if I've ever seen a racing lap before in my life. You don't need sectors to tell you. He runs on the curb on the inside. That's beautiful through Imola. Now he's going to get it slowed down. He just misses the apex. Oh no! Keep it going. And he does. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, but I think he still should be good enough. Breaking into the second to last turn. Don't need to really hit that apex, but you need to line it up for the final chicane. He missed the second one, and again, a little scruffy end to the lap.
He had purple sector 1 and 2.
Yes,
actually he got P1.
Did manage to still do it, but I think there's still some time there. I think he's got to be looking at least 4 or 5 tenths. Probably about 4 tenths in that last sector at least. So there's 2 guys in the 110s and everybody else is running around in 12s, 13s, 14s. The captain, John Cook, did post a lap. He is now going to make it into Q2. It's just Luis Gonzalez left.
Let's go with the newcomer. And he's still in the garage.
Maybe he's confused.
There's 2 minutes 50 to go, so maybe he doesn't know the rules yet.
No, there we go.
Ah,
okay,
there
good.
it is.
Very tight exit to the pit lane
Apparently
here. Like
not enough steering lock.
Yep. Oh,
And it's even worse this time.
Okay, I think we might skip to somebody else. Now we're turning right and going left. Oh boy, what is going on here now? Why are we turning right? Just give it the beans. Oh, you're going heavy right. There we go. There we go. Clip the left wall. Oh no. We'll get it. Don't worry, folks. This is what winter season is all about. Beautiful. There you go. 28th time the charm. And Luis Gonzalez, is he good enough time? He does just have enough time. And that, folks, is why you leave yourselves a little bit of extra time, just in case you can't figure out how to get out of the garage. I have to say, though, I did the same thing when I came on here.
It's a tight exit.
It is very, very tight. You're going to turn the lock up a couple clicks, but you're going to need it for the Adelaide hairpin anyway. So, I think something recommended maybe for the Gonzalez camp. But we'll give him some airtime. Let's go through the field before he comes round to start his lap. So, Georgiev with his 10.7 is still in provisional P1, and he's upside down, and he's in the garage. Ben Bocat is in P2 with a 10.9. Aaron Jimenez with the 12.0, still waiting for Jimenez, Sanabria, the guys with a little bit more experience to really kind of put the staple on this winter series. Jacobo Cardozo, talking of experience, it is the Pink Panther. with the pink tires on, in the pink car, listening to Pink as he drives through.
I
Raise
should put
your
some
glass
pink in the
for
background.
Cardozo. He is in 4th place currently. Alejandro Sanabria 5th, Juan Palacios 6th, Danny Corriveau 7th, the captain John Cook is 8th, and Luis Gonzalez is on his hot lap, I believe, or unless he came into the garage.
Oh, he's still out there.
So we is right on board with him. Break out that nice white line, beautifully placed white line, which is actually, I believe, signifying the end of Sector 1, but it comes in very handy as a brake marker. Especially because drivers can't knock it down.
I was gonna say just that.
Which is the old Monza trick. Get very confident in braking and then knock all the markers down. There's been a pretty handy few turns there, actually, from Gonzalez as he comes through Imola. Imola chicane is much harder than the Nürburgring chicane. He gets around there.
I heard that Gonzalez used to drive with a gamepad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
hopefully
no
he's no longer. Here we go into the second to last turn. Look at the turning of that car. It's a tripod as he gets it off one wheel through the final chicane. And Gonzalez, will he post a lap? He will, so he qualifies for the next session.
The lap.
No, he finished the lap.
Oh, he did, yeah. So slow timing here.
So he will qualify. So everybody qualifies. Nice 11 minutes.
So we still
of
have
your life you'll never get back.
Sanabria on track and Cardoso.
Why are these guys on track? They're just slowing us down.
Off.
And now they're in the garage.
Yep,
so we can move on to a session that actually means something. Not that I don't enjoy spending time with you, Janos, but let's get this show on the road here.
Let me take a note here of the results.
And we get ready.
Still have to do manual work. Can't replace this.
You need to find yourself a minion.
Oh yeah.
A little high school kid that goes to school for, I don't know, sim racing management, and we'll be okay. You could teach that course.
Oh boy.
Okay, who is going to be first out and waiting at the lights? Who is most eager and keen to get this show on the road? It is Alejandro Sanabria. I believe he was first out last time, so he really is eager today. Don't go before the green lights come on. That will get you a lovely trip to Janos' office. Did you get the office this year, or was that not in the budget?
I think we ran out of money.
How? We had so much.
We're still waiting for Fanatec to send us our first check.
Maybe we need to put it on their name. Yeah, I see. See, look at all those Fanatec boards right there. We're doing our bit.
By Fanatec.
So
you know, the last order was 800 euros. Somebody bought something expensive there.
Really?
Yeah.
800 euros.
I'm pretty sure it's OTTO.
Oh yes, OTTO. Where did his money go? No. It's not like, he almost wins with what he has right now.
Yeah.
Needs the improved gear. So Sanabria will come through the final two turns. This is when you're just kind of taking a breath. Don't screw up this last chicane and put it in the wall. That's the worst thing you can do. Is put it in the wall before you start your hot lap. It just gets you all riled up for the session. Sanabria avoids it and goes through the Grand Curb into Estoril through fourth gear. Look at how tight that was. A little too tight. Oh, too tight. You see, you want to go tight, but not that tight. That's when you break the strings on a guitar. When you keep tuning, and then ping, the string is gone. So now we have to find someone else to go on board with.
Aaron Jimenez.
Jimenez is in the garage. So we'll go with Ivan Georgiev. who's coming down into the Adelaide chicane. Again, 209, almost 210. Locked up the rears braking. He somehow managed to actually get around, but it didn't look pretty. So he's going to have to go now extra hard. We know there's time to be found in that final sector from last time round. 180-degree turn, nice late apex, beautifully done. Get close to the curb and close to the green turf stuff, but don't touch either of them through Imola. You want to leave yourself plenty of room for the left hand. You took too much curb, and it'll do that. It'll throw you away like a beach ball. And he's going to be in the garage. So Bocart now, he's going to be the man to watch coming down the last sector. There's those brake markers, but you see they put brake markers on the top and the bottom. That's very, very well done by the Magny-Corp people. Through the final chicane, Jacopo Cardozo goes to P1. Ben Bocart jumps ahead of him with a 1:11.4. Neither guy is getting into the 10s, but Cardozo with 11.9. I think that's a pretty good lap time for him.
Yeah, he's still half a second away, but yeah, we know he's not the quickest in quali.
But yet he always seems to come third, even when he qualifies in third or ninth. It doesn't make any difference. Third is enough, though.
Sometimes that's all that matters.
Bocart, luck. Hopefully we're on board with Ben Bocart still.
Yep, we are.
I think I almost screamed with how good he took the Nürburgring chicane. He bounced off the two curbs. Can he take Imola just as nice? He gets close to the side. That's fine. You can do that. It's not as exciting, but that's fine too. Nice tight apex. This should be a 110 coming here for Double B Ben Bocart. Into the final sector, he's got Cardozo ahead of him, but unless Cardozo is losing all of his time in the last sector, he'll be okay. But Bocart threw it away anyway. Oh, we're skiing through the last bit of the lap. And it was an 11.4, that was what his best time was, so that one was an 11.5, but that would have been quicker had it not been for the little bit of skiing in the last sector. Sanabria goes through P3 with a 12.6, the captain John Cook with a 13.8. Georgiev needs to finish a lap. And here he goes into the Adelaide chicane. He messed this up into the hairpin last time, sorry, but this time, like a glove, through into the Nürburgring chicane. Just a dot of the throttle, a little bit more time there, but he took it safe. A lock up on the left-hand side, but he got away with it. He's definitely pushing the limits of that car, that is for sure.
Yeah, he's a quick driver, but he needs some consistency.
Right now, he needs a lap time. Oh! You don't want to be turning left on a right-hander, but he manages to make it work. Final two turns, get it slowed down, be easy on the throttle. There's no rush, it's just a timed lap. And go to the start-finish line, and Georgiev with a 10.5. And there's still time there, folks. Don't tell him, but there's still time there.
2 minutes 28.
He's going again. Georgiev is going again. Guys moving up and down the field, so it's still Ben Bocart in second, Cardozo third, Jimenez fourth, Sanabria fifth, Juan Palacios sixth, John Cook 7, Danny Corvo 8, and Luis Gonzalez, our friend, waiting right till last minute to put a lap time in again.
And just to refresh your memory here, there are 4 points given to the pole sitter.
That is true.
So Angelo might be kicking his head now.
Of course, he just threw 4 points away.
We're here with Bocart, sliding around.
Dancing around.
That's another way to put it.
So Bocart, is watching Gonzalez doing a little bit of grass cutting on the left-hand side. They do pay people for that, and it is a computer game, so I'm pretty sure the grass does not grow.
And Bocart was setting the fastest sector 1 till he make a mistake.
That is, are you a guy, I will ask you this question, Janos, with 1:06 to go. Are you a guy that watches the sector times on a fast lap, or a guy that does not want to know
I
how his sector times
watch the clock like every millisecond.
are?
I know already, even before the sector, if I'm crossing a bridge or something, I know if I'm up or down.
Wow, so you do a live clock.
Yeah,
knowing...
I can't do it without looking at the clock. I wouldn't know if I'm going quick or not. I did try without looking at it, but it's good to know that you're going fast.
Yeah, but you don't need to know every bridge.
The bridge is a good reference.
You'll be looking every 2 seconds.
That's right.
Do you base it off the wheel too, the Ferris wheel?
It's not every bridge. It's some markers on the track.
There you go. If you want to fool Janos, take the markers down. He will have no idea how quick he's going. 9 seconds, 8 to go in the session. Bocat is on another lap here, coming through. Will he be able to steal 4 points? It had to be a monster effort, gaining 9/10 of a second. But he looks pretty handy. This should beat his personal best.
Time is up.
Time is up. If you're going to make a move, make it now. Gets through here. Can we go through the final chicane without ice skating with the Williams? That's pretty nice. Bocat to the line. And a 10-7. He got very close. Great effort there. It looked
almost
quick.
Georgiev still out there.
Can we give him a point for trying and just give Georgiev 3 points? Bocat got so close.
Only car on track, Ivan Georgiev.
The only man on track is the man that does not need to be on track. Is he trying to go for a slam dunk here? Throw down a marker when he should just be kneeling the ball. He turned into the last chicane. He's got to get close to the wall, and he got too close, you see. It's, if he'd have put his best time up then, that would have been pretty impressive.
Okay, so the session is over. And we
Too
got
much excitement for me.
Ivan Georgiev once again.
Great pole position for him with a 1:10.5. Did he get any poles in the first round? I don't believe so. I believe Osvaldo was the man on pole at Malaysia with the bonus 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4 points for Georgiev with the 10.5, as Janos said. Double B Ben Bocat came very, very close and put in a very good effort. He's shown that he has some great speed too. Both of those guys, great speed, need a little bit of consistency. Which one of them will go the race without making a mistake? That's the question.
I want to see if Cardoso can pull out a win in this track.
He is fourth. He's starting fourth. That's quite a nifty place for him to be. He's going to be P4. So just ahead of him is Alejandro Sanabria. And again, if you'd have asked me before round 1 who would have taken this championship, I would have probably guessed it could have been Sanabria.
I'm not sure. I think Jimenez is quicker. He showed that last year.
So you think the guy who's starting 5th is quicker than the guy who's starting 3rd on
it's
a
not,
timed
it's
qualifying
not where
session?
you start, it's where you finish.
But we're talking about speed here.
Raw speed.
Anyway, we'll see. I guess we'll see, right? But yeah, I think both Jimenez and Sanabria should be able to get things going, but they have Cardozo split right in the middle of them. The Pink Panther is in the middle of a sandwich, just like a pink piece of ham on a cheese sandwich.
I'll be right back. I just fixed the sound, hopefully. I'll be right back in about a minute. Quick pit stop here.
Palacios 6th, Cook 7th, Danny Corvo 8th, Luis Gonzalez 9th, and he only has Osvaldo Angelone and Carlos Reina behind him, so that shouldn't be too difficult to hold those two guys back. Just follow them through, LG. Life's good. 3 minutes 24 seconds to go in the warm-up session, and you know what that means. It is time for the most prized award in the F1 calendar. It's time for the Golden Duck Award. the fastest man in warm-up, which means absolutely nothing. Who will take it here today? Georgiev is going to have a head start. So Ivan Georgiev going into the MLS chicane. So we will talk a little bit about Osvaldo Angelone and Carlos Reyna, who have joined us late. Fashionably late will not get you 4 points. But both guys are out on circuit, so obviously they are keen to race here today. And it should be very, very interesting for us, actually, something for us to watch, which is watching those two guys plow through the field. Hopefully cleanly. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go around a circuit that I think a lot of people enjoy. Magny-Cours is probably one of my favorites, especially ones that aren't on the F1 calendar anymore. Very, very tight. Easy to crash, I will say, though. Just kind of like Suzuka in that sense that you're always just half a foot away from the grass on the outside, especially through those fast chicanes. Typically in the race, you'll slow down a couple tenths of a second through those chicanes just to ensure that you can get around them than what you will in qualifying. If you really want to use the curbs, you can blast over them in qualifying. Cardozo is a man that everybody will want to watch in P5, and Carlos Reyna comes right back into the session. Welcome back, Carlos Reyna, with a P1 and good for the Golden Duck Award right now with a 12.666 and a trip to the wall at the same time. That's what happens when you have 666 at the end of your time. Georgiev,
right, I'm back.
Start. Let's go on board.
How are we doing here? We got 45 seconds to go.
Just watching guys do practice starts now. Is it something that you would do in warm-up, Janos?
Yeah, why not? It's always good to get a feel of the clutch.
Now, how would you feel if the practice starts don't go well? Let's watch Georgiev again. Oh, like that. A lot of wheel spin.
Yeah.
I usually stop immediately. Here we go again. Hopefully we do one better than that in the first turn, otherwise Georgiev will be last by the time it gets going. These cars are very easy to wheel spin. Checkers is out. Georgiev's going to go for another one. That was much better. Time to put it in the garage and just duplicate that, I think. So all personnel, it's time to leave and clear the grid now, as my friend Jason Tomlinson says. I don't know if that's his name, just guessing. The poleman Ivan Georgiev will have Ben Bocut behind him as we get ready for the round 3 of the Winter Series, and this one is 34 laps in length, which is about 4 minutes around this Magny-Cours circuit. Very, very short track. The shortest pit lane south of the Mississippi. So expect guys doing a lot of pit stops here today.
Alright, I guess, should we do the run through the grid, you and I?
I'm the leader. Who else is going to do it? There's no one else here.
Of course. Where is Adam? Come on. He let us down today.
Adam just signed up for the sprint races. There
we go.
So we can go around. I'll let you do the guy who's P1 because you were always a little bit quicker than me, so you can start ahead of me as well in this.
So that's the Ferrari driver Ivan Georgiev. We don't know if he's Russian or Canadian, but he's in Ferrari.
Or anything in between. Ben Bocut is in second. he is going to be chasing, and he was leading the race by turn 1 last time, so maybe he'll be able to get a second chance at that this time around.
We got the Argentinian Alejandro Sanabria in the McLaren, number 14. I guess he's an Alonso fan.
It's a Manor, I've already told you this.
That's Orange Manor.
Fourth place, Jacopo Cardoso, JC, the Pink Panther. Still rocking the pink tires, apparently, according to our sheet, which that should be right, because guys have to run on the same tires.
Yep.
So Cardozo is starting 4th.
Then there's the other Argentinian on the grid, Aaron Jimenez, for the other Ferrari, number 5.
Now, while we talk about tires, oh, never mind, Ben Bocut's tires just changed. Thought he was running the old hards, but the mod was doing its trick on us.
Always.
Juan Palacios is P6.
In the Sauber. The captain, John Cook, for Red Bull, number 3. He's a fan of Daniel Ricciardo, I guess.
Danny Corriveau, not Daniel Ricciardo, Danny Corriveau is right behind him in P8 for the Ferrari.
Luis Gonzalez, the man with the gamepad. Hopefully not tonight. He's on Scuderia Toro Rosso.
And he's going the wrong way.
And he spins right at the end of the lap.
And he cuts through, so Osvaldo Angelone is 10th, we think.
I guess we have to wrap it up quickly. And last on the grid is Carlos Reina, the current championship leader.
Gonzalez did find his way back into the right spot, and we will find our way towards the front of the grid as we get ready for the light sequence at Magny-Cours. 34 laps about to begin for 11 drivers trying to get a seat on the grid for the 2018 SimRacingHub World Championship.
Once again, we have a long wait for the lights to go on.
Patience, Janos, patience. The lights will come as the moon moves.
There they go.
There they go. The moon has moved. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're racing in Magny-Cours. It looks like Sanabria got a bit of a bad launch, and the Pink Panther's right on the inside of him. Everybody looks to have got through right now. There's a guy in the grass. I think that was Gonzalez.
Luis Gonzalez, yeah.
Cardozo is a third, and there's a guy off at Sanabria. Sanabria is off at Estoril. He is still sliding around. He's going to be right at the back of the field. Ben Bocat leads, though. He did it again. Double B with the great starts. Jumped right over Ivan Georgiev, and we have a nice race here today between these two. Oh, Jimenez took out the cones already through the Nürburgring chicane. It's good to get rid of those on the first lap. And look at where Angelone is. He is 7th. Reina has 9th. He had a good start. Angelone had a great start. But Ben Bocat leads the crew around. So it is Bocat ahead of Ivan Georgiev, who is right on his tail. Don't look back, Bocat. Georgiev with a tighter line around the last chicane. Can he get through? Bocat goes nicely through there, though. The only place to pass really is into the Adelaide hairpin. So we'll stay on board with Ivan Georgiev in 2nd place. Can he get a good run off Estoril? He understeers. Oh, and
almost steps out.
I think he'll be too far back. Bocat had some good speed at Sepang, but it looks like Georgiev's a little bit quicker. No DRS yet, and he's going to wait patiently behind him. Does he get a better run out? Can we switch to somebody else? We're going to stay with this fight right now because it is so close. And it is for the full beans of first place. Bocat takes too much curb. Feeling the pressure behind. I think Georgiev's being very smart here. Just sit right there and just poke him with a stick and hope that he makes a mistake. Angelone up to 6th. Reina is 7th. Angelone is now right behind Palacios. We'll see if he can do the pass through the chicane. Oh, that was very, very close. Can he get a better launch off this corner? He won't be able to. Bocat's pulled out a bit of a gap, so we'll stay with Angelone now on Palacios for 5th, 6th, and Reina's right behind as well.
Looks like the captain is without a front wing.
The captain's ship is damaged.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a replay of that incident.
I'll keep on the Angelone fight. You do the research, Maverick, on what happened to the captain. Angelone's going to easily pass Palacios right here. He's going to go to the outside, and then watch Carlos Reina right behind.
The captain went off track and did like 3 barrel rolls.
Angelone went off circuit, and Reina is going to come on right ahead of him. They're side by side.
Nice fight.
Going into the Imola chicane. This should be interesting. Side by side. Oh, and look at that. Reina just bailed out. Smart move, though it's only lap 2.
Saving tires, maybe?
Yeah, could be. He's on the soft tires. Of course, these guys didn't have to run the ultra soft because they did not qualify.
So yeah, tonight we're using ultra soft, soft, and super soft, with the soft being mandatory.
So the only guy on the softs right now is Carlos Reina. Interesting that Angelone went with the super soft, even though he could have used the soft to start with. And Palacios has led these two around another lap. Only 30 more to go, Palacios. You can do it. Angelone sideways through that.
Still have a nice fight for the lead.
Angelone looking up the inside the Grand Curb. Don't do it there. That is a terrible place to make a pass. You've automatically sealed the fate of the guy on the outside, and Palacios runs wide, and great reactions from Angelone to get off the throttle. He'll easily get this place if he can stop this time for the Adelaide hairpin. He didn't manage to do that last time. This time he does easily. So Angelone is into P5. He's 8.6 seconds behind the leaders, and Georgiev, speaking of the leaders, is right behind Bocat still. My sources tell me he's actually running out of sticks to poke him. So Bocat's doing a good job there. Georgiev is much quicker around this part of the circuit, but there is no place to pass.
Yeah, I guess he has to wait for DRS.
Which should be coming this lap. And if you're that close with DRS, you'll be in Mexico before Bocat breaks for the next chicane. So Bocat's going to have to really get Estoril set to hold on to this place. Georgiev a little tentative through the Grand Curb. Completely different lines around Estoril. Georgiev just trying to stay close to him, but look how much he falls back through the downforce, and you think he's going to be too far back even with the DRS here. Bocat touching the grass just to entice him into making a pass. Oh, and that's a big mistake. You can't make a move like that with the DRS open, and Georgiev is now down to third, behind Cardozo.
That was a near miss with the wall.
Palacios is out. What happened there? Danny Corrico. Yeah, Palacios is out.
Yep, doesn't seem like an incident. Maybe he lost connection.
The captain did come in and replace his wing because he is a light year behind. He's actually just catching up to Luis Gonzalez, who is still running after his few excursions. And I think for Gonzalez, he's gonna find the pit lane here with the damaged car. I was gonna say try and find the end of the race here, but I think that might be a tall order. We said one of Bocat and Georgiev was gonna make a mistake. Georgiev just did. And Bocat now has a really nice rear gunner behind him because Cardozo is not easy to overtake.
3 seconds ahead of Cardozo now.
Cardozo's actually gaining a little bit. You said you'd want to see if he could win a race.
Yeah, there is his chance now. Any mistakes from Ben Bocat and he'll be set for that.
And Angelone is still 8 seconds behind Bocat. So that's going to take a while to catch up. Many people could win this race. The super fast Aaron Jimenez, as Janos signifies, is down in 5th place. I guess just cruising right now. Carlos Reina is 6th, but he's got the soft tires on, so he's going to be in the race. So that's 5 guys that could possibly win this one. We have a much
spin around by the captain.
We got a much better race on our hands than we had last time.
Oh yeah.
Guys are starting to get a hang of these cars a little bit now, I think. Captain has put the soft tires on.
It's amazing how I never learned the track name, the corner names.
Well, it's not like they put it on the map. Don't you put it on the map for the guys for loading up on the
yeah, but you know, after a second load, you don't see that screen anymore.
I just took a screenshot of it.
I mean, there's a few turns I know, obviously, but not on this track. Everybody knows Eau Rouge.
But the Eau Rouge isn't on this one, Janos.
Oops.
It's only on one of them every 25 races. So what are you gonna do there?
Yeah, I gotta learn this.
Oh, Jimenez is really struggling to get that car slowed down into the hairpin, and he has Carlos Reina sitting behind him. Reina would like that place, even if he is on the softs. You don't want to be sitting behind Jimenez for too long, burning up those soft tires.
So let's see if we have any fights going on. I think Reina is the closest one.
Currently, but keep an eye on Georgiev and Cardozo too. Georgiev is catching by a couple tenths a lap, and he's almost in DRS zone.
Within a second now.
Reina,
Let's go with Georgiev.
Don't do anything crazy, Reina. Reina's coming around the final sector. He is just behind, but yes, I suppose we should go on board with Georgiev first, because the only place to pass is through the Adelaide hairpin. He's going to be too far back. We'll see if he can close in. Oh, Reina was all sideways coming out of Estoril. He's going to be too far behind as well going into Adelaide, so absolutely nothing happening right now. Guys really struggling to get close through Estoril.
Well, tonight we only have one viewer. Must be a record low.
Only one?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Whoever it is.
And
Reina.
it could be me.
There you go.
Oh boy, we gotta ramp that number up somehow.
I mean,
how about giving away some stuff next time? That will get it going.
It's okay, the singing, they know the singing comes later, so that's what it is, that's the reason why. And Jimenez has made a mistake. Reina couldn't quite take advantage of it. It's too far back, and look at Georgiev, he's right behind Cardozo.
So Angelone has the fastest lap, 1:12.6.
Oh, Reina's going to be all over Jimenez. Jimenez has put it into the wall. He's put it into the wall coming out of the last chicane. So Jimenez gets the pass, and that's the worst because you have to go a whole lap now before you can go and get another front wing. That is...
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I think that wall is worse than the Wall of Champions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's given up. Jimenez has given up because I think it just would have bruised his soul. He's left. He does not want to race the second race. So Jimenez is gone, which means Sanabria is still quicker, and I was right. So that's all that matters.
Let's see where they finish.
Well,
I think one of those two is looking for a seat with
Sanabria
Ezekiel.
is going to finish ahead of Jimenez. I'm going to tell you this now, because Jimenez is upside down and on the golf course. Look at Georgiev and Cardozo, and will the captain get in the way here?
So Ezekiel is watching Jimenez and Sanabria, because either one of those can be his teammate. So I'm not sure if either one is a good option now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Look, Georgiev cannot get on the power behind Cardozo. Cardozo is doing a great job, like I said, behind Ben Bocott, who has not made any mistakes so far. Has he learned his lesson?
We got reports that Sasha McHenry is going to race for Sauber.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
I could have told you that.
He made some drama before, but...
He always races. Sasha always comes through in the clutch. He's a UPS driver. He doesn't know how not to show up on time with the perfect package.
So there are, I think, 10 seats available.
And I think there's going to be a few more guys show up last minute, usually for the winter series.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think these guys, some of these guys will find it tough sitting, but you look at John Cook, he's down in 8th, and he ran last year, so he can finish some races.
Yeah, he made it through the winter series last year.
Yep. I know many
Actually,
leagues.
he showed great speed last winter series. I really don't know what happens during the regular season. Maybe the other guys are too quick.
Yeah, I think everybody You remember who put it on pole? Australia, don't you? For the first round last year?
You?
You remember? You
Yeah.
remember who that was?
Yeah.
By one tenth of a second?
Yeah. I also remember that big lag.
Yes, we won't talk about that one. I think my computer's still lagging. So
Oh
that one.
boy.
Yeah, we got a new internet after that race, but wasn't enough to fix the relationship between myself and Otto Acosta.
Yeah, Otto had a horrible start of the season last year.
He did. Georgiev sniffing Cardozo now. Cardozo, though, doesn't make mistakes.
And Angelone is sniffing Georgiev, so we got a three-way fight now.
There's a big smell going on. And look at Cardozo going defensive. He's going to stop Georgiev making a crazy dive, and that's smart from Cardozo because you don't want guys making a lunge into the final two corners. I think I'm going to place a wager here that Angelone gets Georgiev before Georgiev gets Cardozo.
Yeah, that could be possible.
Because Georgiev just cannot seem to get close to Cardozo. And look at Angelone, that is how you do it. He's going to... Oh, this should be interesting. This should be tasty. Both guys going to have DRS on Cardozo. Will Angelone be able to make a pass? Will any of them go for it? Nothing happened whatsoever.
It's so hard to overtake with these cars.
Well, both guys had DRS, so... Cardozo is sitting there, and meanwhile, 3.9 seconds down the road is Ben Boca.
Oh yeah.
We
It's too close to call now.
It'll be, I think, the longer that Cardozo can hold these two guys back. Oh, Angelone took way too much curb. He's off the track and somehow managed to get it back on. That is a huge save for Osvaldo Angelone. I've done that many times. That's called the Harto move right there. Taking too much curb through those chicanes and it just launches you. That's why they call it the Imola chicane. Because it actually lands you around about turn 5 at Imola if you take too much curb. Cardozo again with a nice launch off Estoril. Georgiev is just watching in amazement.
So this is lap 13. It's going quicker this time around.
Cardozo easily still ahead.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a strategy call soon for Georgiev.
Yeah, I think an undercut.
Yeah, put the soft and take it home.
And then hope that Angelone can get stuck behind Cardozo. See, Angelone cannot really do the undercut because... Oh, what the heck happened there, Georgiev?
He lost the rear.
At that turn? Is that even... that turn I don't know the name of because it's not a turn.
Having a look at the replay at that again. Oh yeah, he lost it coming out. Whew.
And somehow that car is still intact.
You know, historically here in this league, the Ferrari is like made of, I don't know, plutonium.
You
I
do
don't
not
know.
want that car. Yeah, you definitely don't want that one.
I mean, it's really hard to break, but it has a curse.
Now is off at Estoril. Angelone is in the wall. He's off at Estoril. What on earth is going on here?
What happened with Angelone? Oof.
Somehow,
Oh
Cardozo,
boy.
he's lost his wing.
I think it's the pink.
It is, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, no front wing for Angelone. Well, this is gonna open up the championship.
It is, and Cardozo had a pretty good lap last lap. He managed to catch up to Bocart a couple tenths and somehow shake off two cars that were chasing him. So now Angelone is gonna have to come in, and that's what we said, right? You wanted to come in, get the undercut,
Yeah.
get the softs on. He just lost the wing. Now this is a little concerning. You see how well Angelone is driving without a front wing? That means, folks, that we have had too much practice. Look at that.
That means that in Monza, it might be a good idea to knock off the front wing and just race.
Look at how well he's driving. Cardozo is in third now. He's dropped behind. He's in the pits, that's why. Cardozo is the first man to get those soft tires on.
And
Georgiev
is right behind.
He's trying to get the undercut on Bocart here. Georgiev is
Cardoso
in.
is playing it
Angelone.
really smart.
Angelone is in. Danny Corvo, was in? Or no, Sanabria. Sanabria is in. He's gonna get the soft tires.
There's your Jeffs. This pit exit is a bit tricky too.
It sure is. So that
everybody's
moves,
pitting.
That moves Carlos Reina into P2.
Now, who was it that started with the soft? Reina or Sanabria? Reina, okay.
Reina. So Reina is having a good race again. So when you said it could close things up in the championship, that is all being said if Reina does not win this one.
Captain Cook. So Luis Gonzalez is using the super softs.
Interesting.
And he's a lap down already.
Did he start on the super soft? Oh, he's been in to get the softs on, I believe. Because he's had a few incidents and he came in to put the softs on, so he's already used those. So Double B Ben Bocat staying out on the circuit on those ultra softs. I think guys stayed out a little too long in round 1. That's a pound on these tires. Now would be a good time to come and pit. Let's take a look at Cardoso's times versus
So look at
Bocat's
Angelone and Corriveau.
Corvo.
Yeah,
oh.
made it easy. He's going to the pits
And then he
now.
goes in the pits. Do you think that was planned, or you think he just like
yeah, just go away. That's it.
Yeah, we'll see how quick the pit stop is, whether he managed to hit the pit thing in time or not. Well, maybe we'll give him the credit and benefit of the doubt. Okay, so let's take a look this lap around for Cardozo's lap time versus Ben Bocat's lap time. Because Cardozo came in and got those soft tires, he was only 3.5 behind him. Bocat is gonna come into the pits this time. Run into the pit! Oof! Jeez. I think my computer showed he went right through.
Let's see, I'm watching that replay again. It's gotta be 80. Oof, that was... He went right through that wall.
He did. He went right through the tires.
Oh boy, and same for the blue one.
He's gonna come out in the lead. He's actually extended his lead a little bit, but not without its fair share of scare.
Hey, you gotta make it interesting.
Alright, Carlos Reina in P1. He's leading the race. 7.2 seconds now ahead of Ben Bocat, who pulled out about half a second on Cardozo going through the pit wall.
So Angelone says the fastest lap, 1:11, first driver in the 1:11s.
He is 34 seconds behind now. Was that with or without a front wing?
I gotta say it's with a front wing.
Well, I don't know.
And with new tires.
New soft tires. So Danny Corriveau, he again not doing a whole lot, avoiding kind of everything in the first race, and then the sprint race he had a much better run than Sepang in the sprint race. So we'll see if he can do the same thing again.
There's a lot of smoke coming out of the left side of Reina's on that. I think that's turn 3. He's pushing those tires.
A little bit of graining maybe. When is he gonna pit? That is the question.
Yeah, he's been out there for 17 laps.
He's not gonna regain the lead of this race.
Bocat just said purple sector 1.
Reina's gonna come out probably 4th, just ahead of Ivan and Georgiev. So you probably want to pit about now, because you don't want to come out behind Georgiev. So I think if you're Reina, you might want to do the pit now.
Yeah, I think he's gonna come out. It's gonna be close.
I think if you pit now, you have a chance of getting out ahead of Georgiev. So that's what I would do. But
let's see, he's staying out.
He's gonna stay out. Of course, we have information that they don't really have. A lot of, is very, very difficult.
Sometimes they have more information.
Well, that's true. If Adam knows his guy.
Yep.
Bocat did do the fastest lap, I believe, or was it just...
No,
He
that was
certainly-
just the purple sector 1. Fastest
Certainly
still
closed-
for Angelon.
Closed in on Reina though, 5.6. He's in 3/10 a sector right here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching the live timing, which is like maybe 10 seconds behind.
Is live considered 10 seconds behind? Is that still considered live? Is it
Ish.
10 seconds behind?
I would say so.
I remember one time I was watching the Blue Jays in the playoffs, and I went to a bar, and there's the G-Man. Oh, it's Gonzalez.
yeah.
I was at the bar, and one of the screens was 5 seconds behind the other.
Oh,
So it was very off-putting as Reina pits. That is a much better way of entering the pits.
so I guess you
Yeah,
heard the
watch.
crowd and didn't know what was going
Yeah,
on.
it was very off-putting. You'd hear, "Oh my God, yeah!" screaming, and then it'd be like, "Pitches up." It was like you knew it was gone.
Ah,
Reina comes out ahead of Georgiev. Georgiev must have made a mistake, did he?
oh yeah, that was way easy. And
Easy
Gonzalez
peasy
is
lemon squeezy.
having a horrible race. Maybe he's gonna be black flag.
He's really struggling out there to bring it home. Yeah, that car is bent. That is... At what point does it stop being a car and does it start becoming a turtle? I believe the red turtle has been turtleized. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt of having a quiet drive and not too much airtime. this
Yeah,
time around.
so Reina seems to be about 3 seconds ahead of Georgiev.
Interesting. Jimenez is and Palacios. Well, Jimenez currently is scheduled to get pole position, but he is missing. Boca is in the pits again. Why
Speeding?
is
Maybe he had a speeding.
no? He stopped.
Ooh.
He went through the wall again. He
Okay.
stopped. He's
So
still stopped.
look who's leading the race.
Is it a penalty? Stop-go penalty? He's still stationary.
That looks like a stop and go
Speeding.
penalty. I think
It
it's a
must have been
speeding,
speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, I saw him coming too quick.
Oh, Ben Boca made a mistake. You don't want to make the pit lane mistake. That one hurts because he's been driving so well. So well. He had this race under control, and that means the leader of this race is Jacobo Cardozo. And that, folks, is why you do not let guys behind you.
Say it properly. The Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther is leading. That's why you don't let guys pass you, even on lap 5. You never know what's going to come back around. Do not let guys pass you. If they get alongside, you can give it up. But he's got the tall order now. He's on those yellow tires. And look who's behind Carlos Reina on the pink tires. He's got the Pink Panthers tires on. Don't make anything crazy here, Reina.
So I'm getting reports from the stewards that Bocat crossed the pit line at 150. Oh, Rain is out!
He's hit the wall, and he's going to go all the way around now.
Oh my god.
Without a wing. We were just about to have a race, and he did the exact same thing that Jimenez did.
Yeah.
That last wall. I was watching it as you were talking about the stewards, and that means
Cardozo.
the Pink Panther. Oh boy.
So yeah, I was saying
He
that
is-
Bocat was 35 seconds over the speed limit. Kilometers hours.
It didn't look good. I can tell you
Yeah,
that. It didn't.
That costing the
I don't-
race.
I don't know whether it looked 35 seconds, but let's just take a minute of silence here to think of what a huge mistake that was from Carlos Reina right there. He's leading the championship. He's now going to have to pit for a new wing. He's going to fall down to 6th place probably, or 5th place. Gift, Boca, Angelone, Georgiev, and Cardozo possibly more points towards him. And it's just, you can't make those mistakes.
Yeah.
I know you want to get the pass done, but you have to be patient.
That is one tricky last turn.
It's not actually anything about the last turn. It is about the second to last turn. You have to leave yourself enough room for the left-hander with the right one.
So there he is
So
in
Reina,
the pits.
He's in the pits for what's going to feel like an eternity right here.
Yeah, this takes about 15 seconds or so. Hey, it wasn't
And
too long
there he
actually.
goes. Well, the McLaren team must be pretty quick at that. He's going to come out ahead of Sanabria by a couple seconds.
So he's
Jacopo
fifth.
Cardozo is 16 seconds ahead of Ben Bocat. And Bocat was quicker than Cardozo, but not by 16 seconds he wasn't. Reina's coming round to lap with Gonzalez, who gets out of the way nicely. So Georgiev, Angelone on Bocat.
So how about we go over the positions here.
Well, Angelone is on Bocat right now. He's right behind him.
I'm gonna go on board with Angelone then.
This is P2 and 3. The pit lane speeder and the guy who can pass without a front wing. He's right behind. Angelone is much better at staying behind guys. Oh my goodness, I can't even finish it because he almost threw that away.
I'm not sure how much of aerial washout is there, but it looked like you lose quite a lot of downforce.
You do, but that should mean that you understeer, and I think Angelone kind of overcompensated a little bit there. For that one, Georgiev is in the pits again. He's gone for a set of the Pink Panther tires. So Bocat now has the very tough task of trying to hold back Angelone and possibly try and close up on Cardozo.
And Danny Corribo is having a decent race.
Yep, he's still running around. Can Angelone get the pass done on Ben Bocat here? I think if anybody can make the pass, it is Angelone. Into the final chicane. Will any of them understeer? Oh, that's brilliant from Angelone. He's going to be right. Oh no! You see. Oh, I can't. My heart can't take this. That last chicane is catching a lot of guys out. So Cardozo is in cruise mode. His last lap times were
1:13.4.
Oh, actually, Cardozo is driving stupendously. His last lap times 13.4, 13.6, 13.4, 13.4, 13.4. If he does a 13.4 right now, he wins the car. So we'll see if he can come through.
Angelone overtook Ben Bocat.
We missed. Where did he make that pass?
He just did it.
But where? Oh, a 13.5 for Jacopo Cardozo.
You know, I'm trying to tell you the turn name, but it won't come to my head.
What was it?
It's the fast S.
The first one or the second one?
I think it's the first one.
You think?
There's only one fast S on this track.
Well, I got news for you. There is not. There is two. So I don't know what circuit you've been driving. There is most definitely two. If you ride on board with Cardozo, he's going through the first one right now.
I'm gonna have to open the track map.
It's either the Nürburgring chicane or the Imola chicane.
Turn number 7.
Nürburgring.
No,
Nürburgring. Okay.
Yeah, that one.
So when you say there's only one fast S, you mean there's two?
Well, the other one you're saying it's which one?
Imola.
Nah, that's not too fast.
Okay, we're gonna slow this down.
Fast.
Okay, let's find out exactly. So Sanabria is going through the first one right now at 163. He just hit the apex. Reina going through the second one at 166.
Okay,
so
split.
They are equally the exact same. One is fast and one is, yeah, you know. Angelo 13.4 behind. Is he any threat?
You know what's
Cardozo?
the thing? When I used to race, the cars didn't have that much downforce. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's what it is. When was
that first chicane used to be the fastest one. The other one you couldn't do it flat out.
When was the last time you ran laps, huh?
Oof, 3 years ago.
Oh boy.
Yeah, my wheel is in the closet and gathering dust.
Should bring it out sometime.
Yeah, I should, but I want to race with the VR.
A lot of guys have that. I don't. All these gizmos and gadgets. I don't know. Just spend a little
Well,
bit more time testing
for
the
racing,
caster,
it's quite nice.
Yeah, but just test a bit more time on the camera. You'll be fine. Stop wasting time on these 8 monitors and 4 of them talk and all these different things. I think is it Haney? Richard Haney has the guy
Oculus,
that he tells you how you're doing or whatever.
Yeah, that's Spotter. Yeah.
Yeah,
He has the Oculus Rift, the Spotter. I think he's buying or building a cop kit. I don't know.
building.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
He's going all in.
Another man who is all in right now is Osvaldo Angelo, and he's trying to catch up Cardozo.
Yeah, he's a bit far behind.
He's catching a second a lap.
There's what, 6 laps to go?
Yeah, he's going to be too far behind.
Yeah.
Reina's going to be too far behind, I believe, on Bocott as well. He would have to be catching 3 seconds a lap. He's doing 11.6. Bocott is doing a 12.3, so that's not going to happen either. So this is where we kind of sit and enjoy the view. We do have Georgiev catching up to Sanabria, but we have not seen Georgiev really make a pass today. He really struggled behind, guys. He looks very, very, very quick, but as soon as he gets behind, guys, just can't quite make it work.
So that's the only fight we have, Georgiev and Sanabria.
Yeah, it is a fight, and Sanabria's trying to give it away.
Yeah, he's going quite slow. Well, is it the difference in the tires too, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Georgiev should be able to get this
Ultras
past
so
out.
far quite fresh.
If you can't make a pass on the ultra softs on the softs, then that's gonna alarm bells are gonna be ringing. This track is hard to pass on. There's no doubt about that. It's not Hungary hard, but it's hard.
Still has a long DRS with a nice hairpin. That would be the place to do it.
We have a chance. We have a chance right here. Georgiev on Sanabria.
Yeah,
remember, he spun out with the DRS early on. Sanabria does the smart thing and goes to the inside. Georgiev will try and do the up and under.
There we go. It's too close.
He had to get out of the throttle. Yeah. Sanabria again.
Oh, don't try there.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
You see, that is the fastest. Oh. Whoa.
Oh, okay.
That was a nice pass.
It was.
Is that the pass of the race, I guess?
Definitely, yeah. It's Mahat has to start again out of that one. Sanabria did not see that one coming, but Sanabria did. He was doing fantastic. He made one mistake, which was he moved around a little bit too much into the fast S, and it put himself off. If anything, he did the old shake and bake on himself, and then Georgiev just decided to go 100%. That's what we call an all-in right there. And Sanabria almost put it in the wall again, but he was smart enough. If you run wide on that last chicane, just hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Don't try.
No need to correct there.
No, don't try it. It's not gonna work.
Lap 30.
Angelo is only 8 seconds behind, but Cardozo must be already singing to himself. Stay off all of those curbs now, Jacobo. Did Jacobo have any wins last year in the Winter Series? He didn't race the Winter Series.
No, he didn't have to race there. And you know why he's racing this one? Because he didn't answer the surveys.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
The 100-point survey, which almost bit me.
So that's a freebie right there.
A free 100 points.
Yeah.
Guys will test for hours and hours and hours to find a tenth of a second, but yet we won't fill a survey in that's worth 100 points.
Yeah, that's changing for this year. It's gonna be 200 points.
Just automatic disqualification if they don't do it.
You don't make the survey, you gotta race the Winter Series. So Cook is off track.
The captain is off.
Cook.
But he's 2 laps ahead of Gonzalez behind him, so he can almost park this lap. 7 seconds now the gap between Cardozo and Angelone. So the order is Jacobo Cardozo. He is leading in the Pink Panther, and he's had a spectacular drive, really, no question about it. Driver of the half day so far. Osvaldo Angelone had to do an entire lap without his front nose, and I believe he set the lap record without a front nose, but I have to check up on that. He's 6.5 behind. Ben Bocart has drove the entire circuit fantastic, except for the easiest bit, the pit lane, and as a result he's 15 seconds behind. Carlos Reina with the big mistake as well when he was just about to take the lead from Cardozo. Cardozo did the old pink spray out of the back of the car, and it completely ruined Reina's race. Ivan Georgiev, oof, there's been too much to talk about with him so far today.
We're actually checking here that Cook might have blocked Angelone.
Really? That hopefully is not true. I never like my captain getting accused of things. Sanabria is 6th, Danny Corriveau is 7th, minding his own business. John Cook is 8th, Luis Gonzalez is 4 laps behind in 9th, and Aaron Jimenez and Juan Palacios have not completed this race. Jimenez would have pole position if he decided to get back in the car, which I don't know if he knows that or he will. 4.5 now. Angelone on Cardozo. Cardozo must just be managing this gap. There was no way that Angelone was going to be able to catch Cardozo.
So we're looking at a blocking incident. Looks like Cook didn't have a front wing, and Angelone was behind. Yeah, oh yeah, there's contact and everything.
Oh, really? And Angelone is still 4.5 behind, so that actually could have allowed Angelone to catch up to Cardozo. So, riding on board with Jacobo Cardozo as we come into the final lap. This is the final lap, correct?
Ah, pero ya va a estar la última vuelta, que no debería tirar penalidad ya. I'm speaking Spanish here, sorry. Wrong button.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think this is the last lap.
I thought I don't know, I had a stroke of some kind. Was hearing things. So Cardozo comes into the Adelaide hairpin for the first time, 3.3 seconds ahead of Angelone. It doesn't matter how much you win by, kids, just so long as you win.
Winning is winning.
Vin Diesel said that best.
Yeah.
He did.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch of a mile.
It's true. How many times have you watched that film, huh?
Oh man, a lot of times. I didn't like the last one.
And how many times have you watched Tokyo Drift?
I actually liked that one.
How? How did you like that one?
I don't know, because it was so weird.
He couldn't act, and it had nothing to do with the storyline except for the final few minutes. Literally could have been called something completely different.
Yeah. Well, you know, the last one they did, I got bored 15 minutes in.
Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Cardozo comes through to take a win.
Winner.
1 second ahead of Angelone. That is called managing the gap, folks. Angelone comes in second.
Angelone goes right into the garage.
Oh boy.
Must be pissed. Carlos Reina, not bad.
Yeah, he managed to recover back to 4th. Ben Bocart is 3rd.
It looks like Cook and Gonzalez are in about, I don't know, 5 laps down.
Yep. Gonzalez will could have pretty much pole position in this one. So that could get interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting start. Gonzalez is gonna be P2.
P1, I believe, on this.
I think it's P2. He's finishing 9th.
Yeah, but look who's in 10th. Nobody.
He left the server.
Yep.
Oh, well, unless he shows up.
Exactly. Sanabria 6, Georgiev was 5th. Danny Corriveau is 7th.
Anyone left to finish?
Not anymore. I think just Janos Magasrevi, Ezekiel Daniel Montero, and Matt Harto left to finish on the server. Those all did not start. So we'll run through the order really quick as we get ready for the break. Jacopo Cardozo with a win and, has to be said, driver of the day so far. 41 minutes, 59 seconds, 8:64. He said he was going to do it under 42 minutes. And by God, did he do it.
Yeah.
Osvaldo Angelone. It's a good job he did it under 42 minutes, because Angelone was 42 minutes and 8/10, 1 second right behind him. After an eventful race, and starting from the back, no less. Ben Boca is P3. Carlos Reino is 4th. Ivan Georgiev 5th. Alejandro Sanabria 6th. Danny Corriveau is 7th. The captain, John Cook, is 8th. Luis Gonzalez 9th. And Jimenez and Palacios did not finish more than 8 laps. So that'll be how the drivers finish the first race, as they'll get ready to turn around and do the sprint race. We will take a quick 2-3 minute break and see you on the other side.
I'm gonna mute the microphones for a while till we come back in about 10 minutes.
See you on the other side. Welcome back to Magny-Cours as we get ready for the ever-exciting sprint race and the reverse grid sprint race. So the grid is exactly inverted as there's only 9 guys here. We managed to find ourselves another guy in the booth, so the booth grid is also reverted. Because Adam's actually going to start from pole position. Adam, welcome.
Hey, hello, how are you guys doing tonight?
Very well here.
Keeping the energy up. Drugs are working. It's good.
Caffeine works pretty good for that too.
Oh yes. So we are about to go to the race. So formation lap will be on. Luis Gonzalez will lead the field around, and nothing like getting your toes wet starting on pole position. Second ever race, and he's graduated to pole, so this should be interesting.
It will be very interesting.
Yeah, we got John Cook taking up second place, the captain. He's been around though. He knows how to lead the pack.
I would assume that the captain would be licking his chops at the chance to lead this race after turn 1. I think he has a great opportunity of getting off the line ahead of Gonzalez and getting that Red Bull into first place before the Adelaide hairpin. So the captain is P2, Gonzalez is P1. Who is P3?
Danny Corvo. I did catch last race, but he seemed to have pretty good pace in the first race.
He did. He minded his own business, and that might be the trick to win in this one with the reverse grid. And newcomer on pole, I think staying clean will be a big part of this race. So Danny Corvo definitely performed a lot better in the sprint race last round. Expect big things from him this time around as well. Alejandro Sanabria, P4 in the Manor McLaren. He will be pretty much the most experienced guy up near the top end of the field, except from Cook, but he will start behind Cook. So that line is actually quite a fast line. Cook, Sanabria, Rayner, and Jerome on the one side, so expect big things from them.
In 5th place, we have Ivan Georgiev. The Macedonian kid is coming from nowhere. I mean, the kid has really come on. He's probably one of the youngest guys in the pack. Not really sure about that, but he really has shown his pace in the first few races.
He's also shown his pace
in
to move.
6th place.
His pace to move countries too. He's moved all over the place.
He has at least 3 nationalities now.
I'm going to make a new one up next week, okay?
I think we have to speed it up.
Yeah, Carlos Monsoon Reyna.
The bringer of rain will be hoping for rain. He needs to clean race. He's the guy that really needs a clean race in this one. Ben Bocott, Double B, is P7 in the Williams, who had a clean race except for the pit lane last time.
I didn't catch much of the first race, but obviously we have Osvaldo Angelone must have had pretty good pace to take it into 2nd place.
He certainly did. The quickest guy out there. And Jacobo Cardozo was the smartest guy out there. But smarts don't lead you too much when you're starting in P9. But that could be the best place to start with a lot of uncertainty near the front end of this field.
Actually gonna have the camera over that pink Force India.
So here we go. Expect big things from the start. Luis Gonzalez.
Wait again.
Luis Gonzalez. He's going to be watching the lights. Going to be the first guy to make a move into turn 1. Will everybody get through cleanly? We only have to wait 1 moon to find out. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're racing in Magny-Cours. It looked like Gonzalez got
a spinning Ferrari.
That was Danny Corvo getting involved. John Cook, the captain, leads as predicted into turn 1. Gonzalez is under pressure from Ivan Georgiev in P3. Oh, both of them going on the inside. That's Carlos Reyna. There's the 3 of them trying to get by Gonzalez on the outside. Angelone trying to split the 2 of them. He's right behind. Reyna now goes up the inside of the Ferrari, and they all get by Gonzalez cleanly. Actually, a great start from Gonzalez, keeping out of the way. Reina is ahead of Georgiev. So it's Cook, Reina, Georgiev, Angelone, Gonzalez, Baucat. Ben Baucat with a very bad start. Jacobo Cardozo up to P7. Now he's up to P6. He just jumped over Gonzalez, and Sanabria will get by Gonzalez as well soon. Danny Corriveau, the real guy, the real letdown so far, though.
Yeah, he lost control of the rear on the start.
Oh,
we
it's
said
in the
that
sector
line would
one.
be, yeah, we said that line would be quick. The one on the inside, and sure enough, the first two guys are from the inside line of Cook and Reina. So Cook definitely showing his experience as he leads this race around. Speed is not everything. Experience is a big deal. How long can he hold Carlos Reina back, though?
Yeah, that won't be easy.
Reina needs this. He really needs this one to gain back his championship lead. He's going to have to be later on the brakes than Cook, and he is. A very nice, easy pass for him. Cook stays out of the way. Georgiev is now on the inside of Cook, going into the Nürburgring chicane. The captain will, if he give in. Oh, he does not give in. Wow. Look at that, balls from the captain.
The captain is going to go down with the ship tonight.
And he's keeping that second place. He knows he might not have the pace to get these guys back, so he knows track position is crucial for his good race here today.
Now we'll see Reina pull away quickly.
Georgiev again with a mistake. And that means Angelone is going to be right behind him. Georgiev has struggled all night to pass guys, and I don't blame Cook for giving him everything, forcing him to make the pass, because we've seen that Ferrari really struggle. Now this should get interesting. Osvaldo behind Georgiev, looking up the inside. No, it's Cook made a mistake.
Oh,
Georgiev goes off the track and he's on wide. And Angelone gets past them both.
Ben Baucat is right up there behind him too.
Cardozo's off the track. Cardozo was at the circuit as well. That was just a nightmare for Ivan Georgiev.
Looks like Gonzalez is off the track also.
So Gonzalez is back down to P9, but credit where credit's due. He did not make any big mistakes and ruin this race. So we now have Baucat up to P3. The captain is down to P4 after giving everybody a scare. Reina leads by 3.6 seconds, and we saw he had good pace. Is he able to match Angelone's pace? That will be the next question. We have a good race on our hands here between Angelone and Reina.
Yeah, that first turn is a doozy. You really can lose the rear end, and it took the second lap at full speed to see it from these guys.
It definitely did. The grand curve is certainly grand. And Jacobo Cardozo is struggling in this one. He's been off the track a few times. He's down in P8. He's now behind two Ferraris, which in SimRacingHub is just a word for disaster. You don't want to be behind one Ferrari, never mind two. Because you never know when the piano is going to fall from the sky. So the two Ferraris are racing each other. Can Georgiev get past his effective teammate in Danny Corriveau? He should be able to get this one done.
Taking a look at the start again, replay here. Yeah, it looks like Corriveau over-revved that car.
Did we have a
no, there's
false start?
No. From who?
It looked initially like Gonzalez moved quickly, but then he didn't go anywhere.
Look at that.
But then he didn't go anywhere though afterwards. Maybe it's just the bad eyesight, the late night eyesight.
Oh, and Danny Corriveau just spun right in front of Jacobo Cardozo.
Yak is having a yuck race so far. He is in P7. He's a long way behind the next guy ahead of him. If he could get top 5, that might be some solid points for him. Angelone is only 1.4 behind Carlos Reina now, so keep an eye out for that DRS zone. Ben Baucat is ahead of the captain John Cook, who made that one mistake. Sanabria is up the inside of Cook as we speak, and he gets the pass done. So Sanabria is now up to P4. Maybe this is the race where Alejandro Sanabria wakes up in this winter series. Been hibernating the first few races.
Angelone is getting close.
1.1, he's going to need to get 0.1 more through this final sector and the first few corners just to get into the DRS zone. He looks much quicker right now through that last chicane. Look at how well that car is working, and he's now 7/10 behind. But this is when he begins to struggle. Once he gets behind, guys, that car does not look as good. It looked pretty good that time. He's going to be right with him by the time he gets down to the Fanatec hairpin.
Ah.
Nice plug there. He brakes at the Fanatec white line, takes the Fanatec curb on the inside, and is going to close right in on him through Fanatec. And now he's going to go in through Fan and then Tech, the left-hander, into the $180 steering wheel Fanatec turn. Still behind Carlos Reina. Just ride the Fanatec on the outside. And then, no, there's no Fanatec on that one. There was a SimRacingHub logo on that bridge. That is, we have to change that.
Yep, it is getting fixed.
Another one. Another SimRacingHub bridge. And again, Angelone still 7/10 behind. He always gets within 7/10 and he just can't get any closer.
I think the next battle we got going on now is Ivan is trying to take Cook.
Can he
He's definitely in DRS.
Can he get the Cook out of the kitchen? That is the question. He's going to be right behind him. Cook with a slow chicane, but he gets a good enough exit to hold Ivan back, I think, for the first two turns. And it's all going to be about Estoril now. Can Ivan stay tight enough through Estoril and get right behind him? He should be able to.
I think the kid will take the captain out right here at the DRS zone.
He's have to be late on the brakes, but he does manage to get done if he can get the car stopped. The captain lets him have it, and a great pass there from Rogier, who's finally figuring out that Ferrari and how to overtake a few cars. Angelone still 5/10 now behind Carlos Reina. And I know a lot of guys that do racing psychology, and they say that you have to overtake a car within the first 5 turns of being behind him, because once you've been behind him more than 5 turns, you start to drive the same way that he is, and it gets much more difficult. Your brain naturally starts maintaining the gap, plus the loss of downforce. This is his best chance right here, Angelone. Underneath the Fanatec bridge, opens the Fanatec wing on the back, and here comes Angelone. Reina goes defensive, very smart for him. Angelone around the outside. Can he get the pass? No, he's going to have to go the long way around. No, great defending from Carlos Reina.
Very nice.
That's very, very difficult to see your braking point when you go that tight into a corner, but Reina nailed it perfectly. He runs and just leaves the door a little bit open through the 180-degree turn.
Yeah, and he is out of the rubber when he's in that inside lane too.
That's true. The key to holding guys back is to brake exactly when they do if you have the inside line, and to park the car dead on the apex. It forces the guy behind to lift because he has nowhere to go, and then he can't get the run out of the corner on you. Reina is doing it perfectly so far, and Angelone needs to get by him because you can see he's trying, and I worry he's going to put it into the wall if he doesn't get by him soon. I don't think it's going to happen this lap. So long as Reina keeps it on the circuit, I don't think Angelone can get the pass done. Cardozo's catching up to the captain, John Cook.
So we have a poll running on the Twitch channel for Driver of the Day.
Driver of the Day, and there's still 9 laps to put your ticket in for it, because the guy who was easily the driver of the half day is down in 7th and had a kind of disappointing race so far. Jacobo needs to make some passes. That's a late lunge. That was kind of a nothing lunge. He didn't really want to go for it. I think he just broke a lot later than Koch did. Somehow they managed to figure it out. Angelone and Reynes trying to put their name in for driver of the day here. Only 3/10 behind them. Ben Bocat racing absolutely nobody behind in third. Then comes Sanabria, Georgiev, Cardozo, Cook, Danny Corriveau, and Luis Gonzalez, who's having a much better showing, has to be said, in this second race. He hasn't been off the track anywhere near as much. .8. Angelone made a mistake.
Looks like Ivan should be able to catch Angelone. I'm sorry, Sanabria in the next DRS zone. He's still got enough laps to do this. And he's on the super soft, so they should last a little longer. Let's see.
I don't think guys will be coming into the pits this way, this race. You might have a chance of getting a pass here if you can do the nice line. Look at this. He could do it. He lined him up beautifully, but Sanabria just managed to cover the middle of the circuit, going into that second right-hander there. You can make a pass around that chicane if you really do line it up. Oh, late on the brakes from Georgiev. Just managed to stop, but it's probably got some horrible flat spots now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to wait for the DRS zone.
Oh, Sanabria with a gift though. He touched the grass. He's all out of place. And a gift for Ivan Georgiev. As now he'll get the DRS. And can he get close enough to make this pass? Sanabria's going to have to go defensive. He does. Georgiev late on the brakes. Sanabria needs to park the car on the apex. He doesn't quite do it, but he does a good enough job. And that means that Georgiev will not be able to get the pass done into the only fast chicane, according to Janos, on this circuit.
It is the only fast chicane.
He did it there before. I think at that same spot. Last lap, or last race.
He did, yeah. So we'll see, can he line it up through the second fast chicane? Sanabria is, I think he's going to make a mistake. I think that's what Ivan has to be thinking right now. Sanabria's lines are getting very unpredictable. He's really struggling to slow the car down, and I think there has to be a mistake sooner or later, and that will allow Ivan. He's much later on the brakes into that turn. Can he keep it through this chicane? Sanabria is good through there. It's a tough old place to pass. Oh, enjoy it. Almost lost the car.
His rear end's getting so nervous around that turn.
I wonder if he's...
almost every lap.
I wonder if he's turned the boost up. Because the boost certainly can do that. You put the boost up maximum and it can make it really loose. So maybe he's turned it up to try and get this pass done. I think his best shot is actually going to be around this section. He gets so close to him. If Sanabria makes a mistake, just a nice little lunge at the inside, and I think he'll be able to get the pass done.
You got to hand it to Sanabria for holding it together. Let's see if he can on these tires, though. They got to give up towards the end of this 17 laps.
He's going to line him up again.
Yeah, he made a mistake there.
He's going for it. It's always a risky move, but it looks fantastic if you can get it done. But this is now where Sanabria begins to pull away. The last chicane, he's so much quicker than Georgiev because he's so slow through that first turn. But then through the chicane, Sanabria just takes off. And he's half a mile down the road by the time Georgiev gets on the power. Angelone is 6/10 behind Reyna. Still struggling to make that pass done. Reyna doing a great job as well. Both of the McLaren cars under pressure from behind, but not cracking one bit. Luis Gonzalez is out. Luis Gonzalez crashed out. He had an accident after 8 laps, so we have 8 guys running.
By the way, remember the 75% rule.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Bring out the calc.
Georgiev. I already know 8 laps out of 17 is not enough. I did good enough maths. Georgiev, I thought, had a chance then from Sanabria. But he didn't quite. And again, Georgiev's car's getting so loose. He must be just screaming to try and get by Sanabria. Will Angelone make the pass on Reina? Down the main straight, he will not get close enough into the Adelaide Haven, I don't think, this time around. Reina going defensive though, interesting.
It's like Cardoza is off track. I can't even find him on the track.
Cardoza?
No, there. Yes. He's missing a front wing.
Ooh, he flew out on the last chicane.
And that might
Straight
be
into the wall.
That might be the driver of the day.
Yeah, that's gonna ruin for him.
I don't think you can get driver of the day unless he can beat Angelone's lap record without a front wing. We will find out. Talking of Angelone, he is 3/10 behind Reina. Can he get any closer? He's really trying. Beautiful line through that last chicane. See, Angelone is quicker than Reina through that last chicane. But this is where he really struggles, is through Estoril. Angelone gets a good turn in. He has a chance this lap. This is your chance now. Osvaldo Angelone on Carlos Reina for lead of the race. You know Reina's going to go defensive to the inside. He doesn't. He leaves the door open, and that's a risky thing to do. But Reina's got some good straight line speed on that car.
It's as close as I've seen Ivan to the back of Sanabria in a few laps, so maybe he can get it done this time.
Here we go. Ivan Georgiev on Alejandro Sanabria. Sanabria defends. Georgiev much later on the brakes. Can he beat him to the apex?
Yeah.
He does. Wow. Too early on the brakes from Sanabria. Goes right around the outside, and Georgiev is finally freed. Sanabria going way too deep then right afterwards, trying to get him back, and I think that fight is done, dusted. Oh! Osvaldo, right behind Reina. I just went to the screen, and all I saw was a ton of gearbox.
Yeah, it couldn't have got any closer to the back of that McLaren.
Oh, he's going to run out of road, is he? He had to back off that time around. But Angelo now trying some different passes because he doesn't think he can get it done down that fast straight. He must be running more wing.
And it looks like Ivan is taken off and left
Sanabria's in the pits.
behind.
He's in the pits. Sanabria in the pits with 2 laps to go. Explain that one.
The tires are off. He thinks he's got time.
Yeah, he started with the ultras.
Oh, and Cook, the captain's going backwards. He's facing the wrong way. Well, he chose to pit. He don't think he wants to. No, he is going to pit. He's going to decide to pit anyway. Again, was that planned or not? We're going to find out.
I think it was not planned.
Yeah, that looked like an unplanned one. Angelone is close to Reina again. He went for a big pass. He gets very close into this corner. Not impossible to pass into there, but very unlikely. Now he's going to get a great launch off this last chicane. He just needs to stay this close.
So the poll has Reina as driver of the day. 100%, unless you guys vote.
Oh.
I posted the link here.
Angelone. He's going to get in this time round. Surely, for the lead of the race. Osvaldo Angelone around the outside of Carlos Reina. Into the Adelaide hairpin, both of them on the brakes. Reina touches in, still going round, and Angelone gets the pass done. That is a nice pass.
These two drivers, they look very strong for a season.
They do.
Carlos was not going to give that up, but that was nice of them both to keep together.
I think we're looking at 2 guys that can fit right in to the 2018 SimRacingHub Championship.
Maybe they'll be teammates.
There we go.
Maybe even a contender on our hands there.
Remember that Red Bull team is empty.
Up for the taking. So, Angelone is first, Carlos Reina second, Ben Bocat third, Ivan Georgiev fourth, fifth is Sanabria, sixth Danny Corriveau, seventh the captain John Cook, and 8th Cardozo. That is how
Horrible
they'll finish.
sprint race for Cardoso, this one.
And that was the last lap. I didn't realize that was the last lap. So
Oh,
Angelo
what?
passed
He went by
Reina.
so fast.
He passed Reina on the last lap.
Wow, we
So-
completely missed the finish.
That is what happens when you're having too much fun. So I don't care
Very
what
quick.
survey says that Reina is the driver of the day. If you make a
Vote,
pass on the last lap, if you make a pass on the last lap, you got my vote. I can't vote until I leave the server.
Well,
Really?
I think Cardozo's still in the race here. He's trying to make a pass himself.
Cardozo trying to pass the captain.
Yeah, it's not done yet. Oh,
Whoa!
drift
Look at
mode.
everything he's got. Do a little
Yeah,
drifting
it's not
around
over
the
yet.
last.
He's gonna launch. Is he gonna launch one here as well?
2 more turns to do it.
No.
Really trying to set that up.
I think he's
Not
getting a
gonna happen.
point. And
So
that's
there you
gonna
go.
be it. Yeah.
One more lap, maybe.
Oh, that's it.
So there you have it. Angelone with a first place and a win in the sprint race. He also did get second place in the first race because he did not qualify and started from the back. So I have a bit of a taste as Angelone's going to be my driver of the day after that pass on Reina for the last lap. I think you have to give it to the Oz.
Yeah.
I did not see the first race, but for this race, I would have to give it to Angeloni.
So that's 2 votes, which trumps the rest of the votes. So we will go with Osvaldo Angelone as the driver of the day. So Angelone, Reina, Bocat, Georgiev, Sanabria, Corriveau, Cook, Cardozo, and Luis Gonzalez is how they finish in the sprint race. We will be away for 2 weeks, and then we will return for round 3, which is at which circuit? Nürburgring. I
Nürburgring,
believe.
but we may not have a live stream for that one. Just saying.
Well, there you go. So we will not be at the Nürburgring.
It may be an automatic live stream. No commentators or anything.
Which is probably an upgrade from what we've managed to deliver today.
Might be right.
So from me, Matt Harto, Adam Freitas, and Janos Magastrevi, we will say good night, and we will not see you in the Nürburgring.
Alright guys, thank you for coming tonight. See
Good
you in
night.
2 weeks.